Okay, guys. Throttle body injection nightmare. Cut for a 208. 45 seat. I did have to plunge cut the chamber a little bit more. I do not know how thick that chamber is right there at that point. We measured between our valves. We got about, that's 20 thousandths. And that clears. I don't have a 21,000, but it's about 20 thousandths. Would I push it? I don't know. That's pretty tight. Uh, I'm sure someone runs them that tight, but if we're going to spin this as hard as I think it needs to get spun, I'd probably shrink that exhaust valve a little bit. And then the only reason to do that would be is if the bigger valve is better. Now I just cut 45 seat on it. I didn't do anything crazy. As far as our liquid, I should explain why the bore adapter is on there. I had a feeling it wasn't quite lined up to the bore adapter, so I don't know if you guys can see that or not. It was off just a touch when I flowed that. It's probably only worth a couple CFM, but I really like to get stuff just right. But it is interesting to see exactly what's going on in that chamber as far as our mixture motion is concerned, right? This is much straighter than it was, but look at the angle it takes, right? It's relatively straight, and then it turns really hard left, and you can see it follow right along. Yeah, we got a decent sized drip there, and I'm going to show you the other part of the bore as well. Okay, even the drip down there a little bit. Okay, I'm going to try to capture this. Let's see if we can blow this up a little bit. All right, we hit the bore. We hit the bowl. And it doesn't look like it went nearly as deep as it was going. Look at that. That's completely different than it was before, right? Relatively narrow there. And up and into the chamber. Right into the bore. Now, I don't remember that bottom right of that port, the roof side there, being so little blue right there. It looks like there's a heavy stream on the left going up. Interesting. I wonder if I can cap. I mean, oh, poor body had a rough day, guys. Sorry. Let's see what we can see. All right, a little tough to get focus on all of this at one time. Doing my best for you guys. All right, well, in any case, you can see we got plenty of movement. Plenty of mixture motion, right? That should be a good thing, I would think. All right, let's see if we can see something in here. Damn it. Okay, this is a different valve. This is a 208. You can see it's got a lap mark, and it's a little wide on that. And it has a very shallow back cut, meaning that the back cut's not very deep because the way the valve is made, it has a high margin. But there wasn't a lot of meat where the 45 was. So it got shrank down a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see where. That doesn't really look good. You can hardly see up the 45 there. Now, this does have more than 3 angles on it, FYI. That should have helped. All right, I think you can see what's going on there. Okay? And I did have to take some out of that chamber. I told you that already. You can see it hit the chamber here. And it actually hit the chamber all the way around here. You know, I didn't think of it, but that leaves a pretty good ridge around there. I probably lost a few CFM by not touching that. I didn't really think of it. Sorry, guys. But in any case, if we look at the valve, it's not bad. I don't think it's around the valve as much as it was last time. Okay. I'm sorry, I should never be recording this late, but it was a rough day. And I got to get this done for you guys. I know I feel bad for the guys that are hanging through this project. Yes, long and boring and painful. Sorry. I like it, but then again, I have issues. Okay, guys. 16th cut was when we used the 2055 with a back cut on a 400 gasket. Was that a back cut or was that not a back cut? Let me check. Okay, guys, I had to double check. It was with a back cut, so this was a little bit better than the flow we did with the 2055 with no back cut. Okay, I actually remembered the bolt for a change. These pluses and minuses are in reference to this, okay? This is the 208, this is the 2055. They're both 45-degree seats. Plus, plus, minus with a little bit of noise. Minus, minus, minus. Small plus, small plus, small plus, small plus. I mean, tiny, tiny pluses. So, is it a winner? It's a longer valve, so I'm able to lift it higher. But it does kind of pretty much stall out around an inch at 291. I do have to... I'm sorry, it wasn't exactly perfect on the bore adapter. I had to make some marks on the bore adapter. So it's going to be off a few CFM. But in any case, what I think I'm going to do with it next is I'm going to cut it for a 50. Because I think that deep bowl is going to like a 50. Let's take a look at our swirl. Right, this is what they were. This is what they are. These pluses and minuses are in reference to these. Plus, plus, minus, 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 minus. It's still a good curve. It's actually a damn good curve. Okay, not opposed to that at all. Okay, that's the 2055 air speeds. There's our 208 air speeds. How'd we do? Well, we got a plus. Notice how even the pinch is now. It's 260 all across the whole thing. So that whole pinch is working really well. Plus, minus, minus. As far as the roof, really didn't change much, right? Went from 215 to 213. That's a small minus. And from 150 to 130, okay? Now, how about our short side radius? Plus, plus, plus. All right, the bigger valve makes the short side radius work better. And remember, this short side radius was cut a little too deep and we have a hole in it. You know what I need to do? I need to show you how I radius the bigger valve into the bowl. Okay, it's not usual Charlie quality. It's hurry up and do it quick so it looks crappy to me. Well, remember, this has a thin spot in this bowl right around here. And I barely touched that section because I'd rather not make a hole through it. But in reality, it's probably still usable, that thin. It'd be interesting to see how thin some guys push their bowls next to an exhaust port. Okay, you can see how close the seats are. Well, maybe you can see, I don't know. Pretty tight. They're pretty tight with a 1.6 208. You can see, let's get a focus on this, guys. Come on. got a lot of chunkiness right at this edge right here. To me, it's interesting as hell, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. You can actually see the light blue on that bulge. And it looks like it didn't really get much on the other side. All right, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this for a 50. Maybe I'll clean this bowl up a little bit more because it's a little crummy. And we have marks on our bore adapter to get it right where it's supposed to be. And I think maybe I'll take this lip off. And we'll get a little bit better representation of what this is going to do. You have any input for me, guys, please let me know. And I think that's it for tonight. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you're enjoying this. I mean, it's an interesting project because who's stupid enough to do this with swirlies? Stevie makes fun of me almost every day. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.